Hello, I'm ArchieLuxury and welcome to the ArchieLuxury program. Fuckers, hello fuckers. Now today we're going to show you a supercar. The Lamborghini Diablo. And fuckers, this here is one of the last real Lamborghini products. Because after this model here, the demise of Lamborghini, they were taken over by Audi. That's right, part of the Volkswagen group. But the Diablo, it's a 90s supercar. And this is a fucking nice motor. It's a nice motor. And I'd like to say to all the viewers out there, you know, if you're watching this channel, great. Go and ask the other pretend luxury channels how many fucking supercars they have on their channel. Go and talk to these gentlemen. These, you know, these fuckers who think they're a cut above. I don't see any fucking fancy cars on your YouTube channel. No, Archie goes full hog for the viewers. And I just want to sink my boot in and kick these other pseudo-luxury channels. And this is a gorgeous car, a Lamborghini Diablo. The Diablo was produced from 1990 to 2001. Under 3,000 of these fuckers was produced. Diablo means devil in Spanish. And these cars here, it was capable of over 200 miles per hour. That's 320 kilometers per hour, fuckers. The Diablo was replaced by the Lamborghini Murcielago. And I gotta tell you, I love the Diablo. I think that's probably the sweet spot in the Lambo range. It's just fantastic. The Lambo itself, it had more equipment than the Countach. And the Lambo itself had fully adjustable seats and steering wheel, electric windows, an Alpine stereo system. From 93, they had power steering. This car originally didn't come out with ABS. No, you don't need that. And it's a very, very interesting car indeed. A option at the time was a Breguet clock. That's right, priced at 10,500 fuckaroonies. My God, do they know how to charge. The Diablo itself, I reckon, is one of the most beautiful looking cars of all time there. And this here is a... People said, oh, what's this Lambo here? It doesn't have the pop-up. It's got a very special... It's had work done to it by a tuning company. And I gotta tell you, fuckers, Lamborghinis, they are just cool fucking cars. They are so cool. It's just sexy. It's a sexy fucking car. These are cool cars that fuckers, you know, this is the whole point of these cars. They are cool. They are wonderful cars to tell people to fuck off. Get the fuck out of my way, you piece of shit. That's what the Lamborghini Diablo says to punters. And I gotta tell you, you know, I love the lineup in Lamborghini. I love the Countach. I'm a very 80s. The Countach was an 80s car. The 90s was the Diablo. And I love it. Absolutely love it. The Miura was a 70s sort of car. 60s, 70s. And ever since Audi's taken over, far out. You know, the Germans can't do supercars. They may be fucking reliable. They may start. But there's something about a Lamborghini Diablo. It's just horny. It's a horny car. So fuckers, let's take a seat inside here, and let's go for a spin, fuckers. Let's go for a spin. See you later, fuckers.
Because it goes through a ritual sort of revving itself.
Yes. Yes, so take your time, please. There's no rush.
Ferraris are the same.
Yes, 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 of course. Amazing power, isn't it? Amazing. Ball-breaking power.
Yeah.
Ball-breaking, really, isn't it? I mean, that's just phenomenal. Going to die, you may as well die in one of these, don't you think? I mean, if your numbers are up, your numbers are up, aren't they, eh?
But it works alright as a bit of a grand tourer as well. Like,
yes,
it would be fairly comfortable.
These seats are. I mean, I'm a big guy. These are quite good seats. You know what I mean? And the interior is kind of tasteful,
yeah,
in an obnoxious sort of way, you know.
Yeah, you need to sort of warm up the gearbox in it too.
Yes, yes, of course, yeah, of course. The problem with a lot of these cars is they don't get many mileage at all. That's kind of a bad thing for a car, not to have any driving.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what a lot of people say. You know, you really want to keep up the driving, you know.
The brakes in this are phenomenal.
No, they're not. They're probably back in its day, yeah, they would have been really good.
Well, there's no ABS in this car, I don't think, is there?
No.
The ABS is for pansies, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no ABS and no traction control.
Okay. And you've got a fuckload of power.
Yeah, you've got 500 horsepower.
It could be worse, it could be front-wheel drive.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be a little careful, I guess, driving in the rain like it is now.
Yes, yes. Yeah, thank you so much for taking it out. I didn't. If it was going to rain, we maybe shouldn't have done it.
No, it's alright.
It's a beautiful girl, really.
Oh yeah.
See, this car means a lot more to me than a modern Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Because this was when I was 20.
Yeah.
So this is early 90s. I was 20 in 92.
Yeah.
I remember reading Track and Road, which had this car in yellow on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first article I read about these Diablos.
So unattainable, never thought I'd actually be in
that's
one.
true, but they gave one of the English magazines a test car to test.
Yes.
And they somehow melted the gearbox, so they actually had melted aluminium dropping onto the road.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I thought, oh geez, that sounds expensive.
Sounds expensive. To do the brakes in these is a little bit expensive too. I worked for a guy whose friend had a Diablo actually, and spent 20,000 on the brakes and that there.
Really?
But yeah, yeah.
I wonder if he might have upgraded them maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The other thing too is that you've got to be smart with these classics. You've got to go to an independent, you know, you've got to know you're independent. Yeah. Who does this, who does what, because they use a lot of standard car parts in this car. Lamborghini doesn't make everything in this car.
Yeah, they use a lot of parts from the parts bin of the world.
Exactly. And your kids, like, you've got children, haven't you?
Yeah, my partner's got some daughters, 3 daughters.
Yes.
Kids love it, but they maybe even enjoy the Rolls Royce just for fun. Like it really, the Rolls really puts a smile on your face. It's one of those cars.
It's more of a family sort of car. It's friendly. This is a bit hostile because it's a 2-seater. You know, you can't.
Any teenage guy is going to pick this car well before anything.
Yes, yes.
But they're girls, so they kind of prefer just the fun of the Rolls.
Yes, yes. Well, the Rolls is a very special thing. A vintage Rolls is even more special. You'd lose your license in a day in this, couldn't you? Half an hour, couldn't you? All these speed cameras and shit. The theory is if you're over 250 kilometers an hour, apparently the cameras don't work.
Oh, really? We could try it. You know, these cars, I'm fairly sure they guaranteed you'd do 300 k's an hour.
Is that right?
But most of them will do 330.
I see.
They're really high.
That was a big thing then, because remember in the time, this was a car. You remember the Porsche 959?
Yeah.
That was the super Porsche.
Yeah, that was the era of the F40.
Yes, F40. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
But as they say, like the F40 really was a race car that could be driven on the road in some countries.
Yes.
And it's a different animal. Like at least this car you can drive it.
Yes. Yes.
An F40, if you had one, I guess you'd really want to use it on the road.
Yes. 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 Look, but this is not a car you go down to the shops with. It's a hard to get in and out. You know, it's not a. It's wide, as you said. It's low. Yes, it's got a great growl to it, right next to the engine. You know what I mean? It's just being a mid-mount car is.
Yeah, the other owners I've sort of spoken to.
Yes.
There is a real feeling that these cars, you know, they like to use the word bulletproof. They are actually really quite reliable.
Yes.
No one really has any problems with the gearboxes.
Yes.
The engine.
What Esprit did you have?
I had an 83 and I think it was an 84. One was the non-turbo and one was the turbo version.
I see. Which one did you prefer?
Looking back, the non-turbo version was actually a lot easier to drive, and you could actually drive that a lot quicker unless you were a particularly good driver.
Oh, I see. Got you. Got you. I had an uncle who had a Lotus Europa.
Oh yeah, they're great car.
The coffin.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a 1970s sort of car.
They're still around to buy now.
I think he had there's two engine choices. There was a Renault engine and then there was a Ford engine.
Yeah.
I think he had the less desirable one, the Renault one, I think.
Okay.
But you're a huge British car fan.
Yeah, I love my British cars.
You didn't want to go Aston Martin V8 or?
You'll see one of them tonight.
Okay.
A beautiful one. A lovely convertible.
Yes.
And that's got a fantastic exhaust system.
I see. Something that's very unforgiving, and you really need to know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like no other car. You really...
when you're not opening the throttle.
Yes. No, you're right. This car here is not something. This is actually quite a. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's quite an awful car to drive if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? The clutch is brutal. There's no power steering. People don't understand it, you know. But those are good things. It doesn't have the power steering because when you're doing 200 kilometers an hour, you don't need that crap, you know.
Yeah.
It's very pure. It's a pure car, like the McLaren. You know, the McLaren compared to the Veyron is that it doesn't have that shit in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Diablo's been one of the all-time great Lamborghinis, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, well, there's absolutely no question as to whether it's a supercar or not, that's for sure.
I don't know if you watch Jay Leno's Garage much.
Yeah.
But there's a guy who has a Lamborghini 3500 GT, which is a mid-60s second series of car released. And he's put almost 1 million kilometers on it.
Wow.
He's owned it for 40 years. He bought it when it was a couple of years old, and it's worked reliably. You know, I mean, it's not like a Toyota, but I mean, it's actually quite usable.
Yeah.
I really love the Lamborghinis. You know, they are really.
Yeah, the story, the fact that the Lamborghini were tractors.
Yes.
And started building tractors after the war.
Yes.
There was a big need for them. And that was from leftover war parts.
That's correct, leftover, yep.
And he wanted he didn't like a few issues with the Ferrari that was available, and wanted Ferrari to redesign some aspects of the car.
Yes.
They wouldn't do it, so kind don't have to shove it up them. He did it in despite of them. He came up with his own car. Which,
yes. Well, you've got to remember when the first Ferraris used live rear axles for a long time in the 60s.
yeah. Yeah, Ferraris, they've only just got out of cam belts, which